Around the world, there are places that are beyond our imagination and defy logic. Get ready to dive into the mysteries that these places hold. We're going on a journey to explore the unknown and discover stories that are as fascinating as they are strange. Come along as we step into a world full of surprises that will keep you wondering and wanting to learn more. Number 10. Island of the Dead Dolls. In Mexico, there's a spooky place called the Island of the Dead Dolls. The story behind this place is as creepy as it sounds. It all began with a man named Don Julian Santana, who decided to live alone on a small island. The story goes that a young girl drowned in the nearby lake, though some people say that Don Julian just imagined this. But Don Julian decided to honor the girl in a really strange way. He started with just one doll, which he hung from a tree. But as time went on, he began collecting more and more dolls from the canals and nearby trash piles, hanging them all over the island. The dolls got pretty beat up from being outside all the time, and they started to look really eerie and scary. The canals, once known for their history, started getting a creepy reputation because of the island. Despite the creepiness, people got curious and started visiting. The island turned into a kind of weird tourist spot. Each doll, looking all worn out or dressed up by Don Julian, seemed to tell its own creepy story. Don Julian didn't just hang dolls on trees, he filled his home with them too. He dressed them up in different clothes and had them all over the place. Even though most people found it terrifying, Don Julian thought of the dolls as beautiful protectors and didn't mind showing visitors around. The story took a sad turn in 2001, when Don Julian was found drowned in the same lake where it all supposedly began. People say that his spirit joined the eerie atmosphere of the island, surrounded by the creepy dolls he spent so much time collecting. So, the Island of the Dead Dolls continues to be a spooky, mysterious place that attracts those curious enough to visit. Number 9. The Yonaguni Monument. The Yonaguni Monument is a mysterious underwater formation located off the coast of Yonaguni, the southernmost of the Ryukyu Islands in Japan. It was accidentally discovered in 1986 by Kihachiro Aratake, who was on the lookout for a good spot to observe sharks. Ever since, this monument has caught the attention and sparked debates among many. With its steps, platforms, pillars, and trenches, it looks like an ancient city submerged underwater, earning it the nickname, the Japanese Atlantis. People have different theories about how it came to be. Some believe it's a forgotten piece of an ancient civilization, while others think it's just a natural geological formation. Marine geologist Masaki Kimura is a big supporter of the idea that it was man-made, pointing out the step structures as signs of architectural design. However, not everyone agrees with him. In fact, neither the Japanese Agency for Cultural Affairs nor the government of Okinawa Prefecture recognize the formations as significant cultural artifacts. So there hasn't been any official research or efforts to preserve the monument. While it stays quiet underwater, the discussions about its origin are anything but quiet. Geologist Robert Schuck and others believe it's all natural, pointing to the parallel bedding planes and vertical joints in the rocks as signs of natural fracturing, which could have been made worse by earthquakes in the area. Despite the debates, the Yonaguni Monument continues to attract divers and researchers, all hoping to uncover a piece of a forgotten past or just experience the mystery firsthand. Over time, the story of Yonaguni has grown with explorations and visits from notable individuals like freediver Jacques Mayol, who've shared their experiences and added to the ongoing narrative surrounding the monument. Even though its true nature remains a mystery, the Yonaguni Monument stands as a captivating puzzle, drawing the curious and adventurous. Sometimes compared to an underwater Machu Picchu, it remains a topic of discussion among historians, archaeologists, and geologists. The complex geometric shapes of the structure invite wonder and speculation. Is it a sunken city, a relic of advanced ancient civilization, or simply a masterpiece created by nature over countless years? The Yonaguni Monument is a blend of mystery and history, waiting to be explored, with each dive offering a chance to touch the unknown, echoing the haunting beauty of the undiscovered through the Pacific's murky waters. Number 8. The Crooked Forest. In a small village in northwestern Poland, there's a strange yet charming woodland known as the Crooked Forest. This isn't your everyday forest, but a group of around 400 pine trees that grow in a way that's far from ordinary. Instead of shooting straight up like most trees, they have a weird 90-degree bend towards the north at their bases, making a C shape before growing upwards again. These trees were planted around 1930, back when this area was part of Germany. What makes this forest a mystery isn't just the odd way the trees bend, but how they all bend in the same way. Each tree has this sharp bend at the base, stretching sideways for about 3 to 9 feet, before growing straight up again. This unusual shape has sparked a ton of stories and theories trying to explain why these trees grow like this. Over the years, lots of theories have popped up trying to solve this natural puzzle. Some say there are special gravitational forces at work, while others think it might have been people, maybe farmers, who bent the trees on purpose to get curved timber for shipbuilding or making furniture. And then there are the wilder theories talking about aliens or other spooky stuff. But even with all these theories, nobody really knows why these trees grow like this, which makes the Crooked Forest a cool and mysterious place to visit. When you step into the Crooked Forest, it feels like you're walking into a fairy tale where nature decided to have a little fun. The way the trees bend makes you wonder and think about what could have caused this. It's like a magical spot where nature and maybe even history come together, inviting people to explore and maybe find some clues to solve the mystery of the twisted pines. Number 7. The Door to Hell. In the heart of Turkmenistan's Karakum Desert lies a fiery abyss known as the Darvaza gas crater, also commonly referred to as the Door to Hell or Gates of Hell. This enormous flaming pit has been burning for over 50 years, attracting curious minds from all over the globe. The saga of the Door to Hell began in 1971 when Soviet geologists were drilling for natural gas in the desert. Unexpectedly, the ground caved in beneath the rig, creating a vast hole. Concerned about the release of harmful methane gas from the crater, they set it on fire, anticipating it would burn out in a few hours. However, the fire has persisted, burning brightly even decades later. Now, the Door to Hell has become a weird but fascinating place for tourists. The sight of this big fiery pit against the night sky is something you don't see every day. Over the years, it has attracted adventure seekers, photographers, and people who are into mysteries, all coming to see this fiery hole in the middle of the desert. The Door to Hell is a reminder of how unpredictable things can get when humans mess with nature. The original plan to find natural gas turned into an endless fire, showing just how powerful nature can be. People are curious about why the fire keeps burning and how deep the gas goes under the desert. Number 6. Kodinhi. Kodinhi, a small village in Kerala, India, is often called the Village of Twins because of the incredibly high number of twins born there. Unlike any other places, Kodinhi has over 400 pairs of twins among its approximately 2,000 families. This phenomenon is way above the global average and has caught the attention of scientists and researchers. Normally, the chance of having twins is about 1 in 250 pregnancies, but in Kodinhi, the twin birth rate is strikingly higher, making it a real head-scratcher for scientists. They've been trying to figure out what's causing this for years now, but haven't landed on a clear explanation yet. They've looked into many factors like the water, diet, and even genetics, but the mystery remains unsolved. The phenomenon has attracted the attention of scientists and researchers from across the globe who have flocked to Kodinhi in hopes of unraveling this genetic riddle. Several theories have been floated around. From the water of Kodinhi to its food habits, everything has been under the scanner, yet the mystery remains unsolved. Number 5. Nazca Lines. The Nazca Lines in Peru are a collection of ancient geoglyphs etched into the Earth's surface, nestled between the towns of Nazca and Palpa. These aren't just simple drawings, but enormous figures of animals, plants, and shapes, so big that they can only be fully appreciated from the sky. It's like an ancient art gallery sprawled across the desert. The mystery behind the Nazca Lines is what really draws people in. Who created them and why? They date back between 500 BCE and 500 CE, believed to be the work of the Nazca people. Some theories suggest they had religious or astronomical purposes, maybe even a way to communicate with the gods. Others believe they were sort of an ancient astronomical calendar or even markers for underground water sources. Now picture flying over the arid plains of Peru, and below you unfolds a tapestry of incredible designs: a spider, a hummingbird, a monkey, and various geometric shapes, all etched on the Earth's canvas. It's a sight that captivates and baffles at the same time. How did an ancient civilization, without the aid of modern tools or aerial view, create such precise and enormous figures on the ground? It's not just the how, but the why that adds to the mystery. Were these giant drawings a means to appease the gods, a display of astronomical knowledge, or something else entirely? As you soar above, or stand at the viewing towers gazing down at the remnants of a bygone era, you can't help but be swept away by the mystery and ingenuity that birthed this ancient desert sketchbook. Number 4. The Spotted Lake. The Spotted Lake is a one-of-a-kind lake located near Osayus in British Columbia, Canada. This lake is unique because of its spotty appearance, especially noticeable during the summer. As the water evaporates when the weather warms up, it leaves behind colorful patches of minerals on the lake's surface, creating a sort of polka dot pattern across the lake. These colorful patches are due to a rich mix of minerals like magnesium, calcium, and sodium sulfates, including a high concentration of Epsom salts. The Spotted Lake isn't just a visual wonder. It holds a special place in the hearts of the Sayult people of the Okanagan Nation. They consider this lake sacred and believe its mineral-rich waters have healing properties. So it's not just a quirky sight, but a place steeped in cultural reverence. Visitors often find the Spotted Lake to look like something out of a whimsical storybook because of its fun and quirky appearance, with many colorful spots scattered all over. You can find this intriguing lake while traveling on Highway 3. It's not just a feast for the eyes, but also a quiet nod to the rich indigenous culture and the mesmerizing natural wonders in this part of Canada. Now picture this. We're on a road trip through the scenic landscapes of British Columbia, and we come across this peculiar lake, the Spotted Lake. It's a bright, sunny day, and as we get closer, we see that this isn't any ordinary lake. It's dotted with colorful patches, each reflecting the blue sky, fluffy clouds, and the greenery around. It's like nature's own polka dot painting laid out for us to see. So next time you go on a Canadian road trip and visit British Columbia, don't forget to visit this polka-dotted marvel. Number 3. Richat Structure. The Richat Structure, often referred to as the Eye of the Sahara, is a striking circular feature in the Mauritanian part of the Sahara Desert. From above, it looks like a gigantic bullseye with concentric rings spread out over a diameter of about 40 kilometers. This surreal geological formation has puzzled scientists and sparked the curiosity of anyone lucky enough to glimpse it from above. What makes the Richat Structure so fascinating is its near-perfect circular shape, which stands out starkly in the vast expanse of the surrounding desert. Initially, people thought it might be the impact crater from a meteorite because of its round shape, but further study ruled that out. Turns out it's a natural dome that has eroded away over time, exposing the layers of rock beneath in a ring-like pattern. The layers of rock in the Richat Structure tell a story stretching back over millions of years. They've been carved out and revealed by erosion, with each ring representing different geological epochs. It's like a natural history book, with its pages laid open under the relentless Saharan sun. Despite being a natural formation, the near-perfect symmetry of the structure has led to all sorts of wild theories. Some folks love to speculate about ancient astronauts or advanced ancient civilizations, although there's no evidence to support such ideas. Others appreciate it for the geological wonder that it is, a beautiful and unique window into our planet's ancient past. Number 2. Hoia Buchu Forest. Hoia Buchu is a mysterious forest located in Transylvania, Romania, and it's often called the Bermuda Triangle of Romania because of the strange things that happen there. It's a place that has gained a spooky reputation, with locals and visitors reporting weird sightings, ghostly appearances, and even UFOs flying around. People have often felt like they're being watched, and some have seen faces in photos they've taken that weren't there when they snapped the picture. The lore around Hoia Buchu centers on a shepherd who, according to local tales, disappeared in the forest along with his flock of 200 sheep. Since then, it's been a hotspot for bizarre happenings and paranormal activity. Many who have dared to venture into the forest reported unexplained feelings of anxiety, the sense of being watched, and some even came back with mysterious rashes or scratches. One of the weirdest spots in the forest is a clearing where nothing grows. It's a nearly perfect circle in the woods where the soil seems to be barren. People have speculated about everything from UFOs to ghosts to explain why nothing grows there. It's known as the Round Meadow, and it's a place where many have reported seeing bright lights in the sky. There have been numerous reports of UFO sightings in and around Hoya Buchu. In the late 1960s, a biologist named Alexandru Sift snapped a photo of a disc-shaped object flying over the forest. This photo brought Hoya Buchu to the attention of ufologists around the world. But the mystery of Hoya Buchu isn't limited to extraterrestrial encounters. Many have claimed to have experienced missing time while in the forest. They would enter, and in the blink of an eye, several hours would pass, even though it felt like minutes. But it's not just the spooky stuff that makes Hoya Buchu interesting. It's also a beautiful place with dense foliage and a canopy that lets in rays of sunlight in the most magical way. The play of light and shadow on the forest floor, along with the mystery that surrounds every twisted tree, makes it a captivating place for adventurers and those who are curious about the paranormal. If you're ever in Romania and are up for a bit of adventure, the Hoya Buchu forest is a place where you might just find more questions than answers. It's a step into the unknown, but a walk in this forest is surely something that'll give you stories to tell, if you make it out alive, that is. Number 1. Mendenhal Ice Caves. Tucked away in peaceful Juneau, Alaska, the Mendenhal Ice Caves are like a trip into a blue ice dreamland. They're part of the Big Mendenhal Glacier, a 12-mile stretch of ice in the Mendenhal Valley, attracting folks who love a good adventure. The Mendenhal Glacier, where these caves are, is over 3,000 years old, starting off in the Juneau ice field. The glacier dips 150 to 250 feet underwater at the end, with Mendenhal Lake right in front of it. This lake even freezes over in winter, turning into a cool ice skating spot. Stepping into the Mendenhal Ice Caves feels like entering a different world, where you can see the water cycle happening right in front of you. As you go deeper into the caves, you'll see ice melting into water, then freezing back up into ice. These caves are made by water flowing through the glacier, carving out tunnels as it goes, creating a network of icy corridors. This whole process of water freezing, melting and refreezing is what shapes these caves, making them change over time. One of the coolest things about these caves is the glacier blue color of the ice. Over time, the ice absorbs all colors except blue, casting a magical blue glow all around. It's like being inside a blue wonderland, surrounded by a bright blue hue that lights up everything around. Getting to the Mendenhal Ice Caves is a bit of an adventure too. From Juneau, it's just a 10-mile trip to the glacier. In summer, the brave can rent kayaks in Juneau, paddle across Mendenhal Lake, and see the glacier pop up as they get closer. In winter, the tough ones hike across the frozen lake to get there. No matter the season, the Mendenhal Ice Caves are a go, offering a jaw-dropping experience for anyone up for exploring the chilly environment of Alaska.